Welcome to this webcast, which will survey a number of factors which can contribute to the success of renewable energies. Renewable energy and development plan. Well, renewable energy have to be integrated in different documents and national development plans. So not just energy strategy and plan, but also climate strategies and industrial strategy. Objectives need to be realistic, measurable, and agreed by the maximum, if not all stakeholders. There is a need to have a champion in the institutional landscape of a country to promote renewable energy. It can be a dedicated minister, like in India, or a public agency, or a center, or an association. At least to have one identifiable partner for renewable energy developer, with dedicated staff to manage renewable energy programs. The creation of a renewable energy fund can be very useful. Comes the question of subsidies. Well, subsidies for renewable energy need to be targeted. There are social considerations and they have to be linked to effective generation. If possible, subsidies for conventional sources need to be removed. According to the IMF, 480 billion of US dollars of pre-tax subsidies for fossil fuel and electricity have been distributed mainly in developing countries where they drain national budgets. This sum comes on top of hidden subsidies. They favor big energy users and encourage overuse of polluting energy. So their removal is desirable and it could help to finance renewable energies, but the removal has to be gradual. There need of campaign for effective communication highlighting their cost. There is a need for compensation for the poorest with targeted program. And even if you follow all this, it's a delicate process. Multiple countries made attempts, but that to remove subsidies and to follow this recommendation, but that has led to social unrest and unpopularity. Mapping of resources. Well, first, integrated resource planning. Energy efficiency is a resource. Second, it is clear that location of renewable energy resources can be far from the grid, so there is a need of economic surveys to see if it is worth to tap in those resources. There is also a choice to be made between distributed generation and large-scale utility renewable energy project. What will be the balance between the two? It is very useful to provide a detailed and accurate map of renewable energy resources, which constitute an important support for developers. Old map for technology like wind can perfectly underestimate the resource. It is now more and more interesting to also to use modeling and forecasting software. Sitting grids can also be edited. Local content. Well, the idea is to favor local manufacturing, to reduce importations for balance of payment, to create jobs, and to increase the popular support to renewable energy. Policies. Local content rules can apply to equipment or to ownership. There is a need for incentives. It can be local tax benefit or government grant if there is high level of local content, a bonus payment, or lower interest rate for local projects. But one has to be careful. A too high level of local content requirement may be challenged at an international level. That has been the case in China, where the 70% wind requirement until 2009 has been challenged by the US, and it's the case currently in Ontario, where there are also high level of local content requirements which are challenged following World Trade Organization or NAFTA rules. Standards and code of practice. Well, standard and code of practice enable to guarantee the quality of installation. International standards exist, so there is no need to reinvent the wheel. There is a need to find a compromise between too high standards and poor standards. Too high standards have a cost, but poor standards have also a cost. And standards and code of practice is not just a document, but it also needs to be publicized and enforced. So need of training of technicians, accreditation, and need of monitoring, which implies a staff, dedicated staff and budget. Research, development, education are also important to create an enabling environment for renewable. To develop local research units inside universities or agencies is crucial to capitalize experience, because there are some limits with international consultancy. One has to be realistic. Not all countries, especially the low-income one, can do everything. So first, they don't need to start from scratch and duplicate research capacities which already exist at a regional level. Second, some renewable energy technology are now mature, so they don't need any more research and development, but more an understanding how to create a local market, how to organize a follow-up of project and organize feedback from end users. And taking into account limited staff and budget, one needs to be focused. And regional or international networking of scientists can be very useful. And one has to be also innovative. Public budget can be mobilized, but also research and development tax credit sometimes can complement local budget. Capacity building. It's important to create a local network of retailers, technicians, and engineers. So the method is to train the trainers, to provide concrete in-situ support all along the project, and to mobilize as much as possible local resources.